Hey there! Today I'd like to talk about this ink. As you can see, it's the sample. The sample was sent to me by Robert. Robert is the same person who sent me this very nice webcam, which, unlike my other one, can actually focus up close. Right now, of course, it doesn't do so because, that's what webcams do. They have a will of their own, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that he sent me 3 ink samples along with the webcam. This one is, I'm going to read from his letter. This one is Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyu-gaki, and Fuyu-gaki is it was described as a persimmon red color by Pilot. So I'm very interested in using this. I think I have had a sample of this that someone else sent me at some point. I'll check it out. I have inked up the pens. I have not used this ink before, apart from some scribbles to see what other pens were working, and I have to tell you, so far I liked what I saw. This was a nice, pretty vibrant color. So I say, let's do a writing sample. Hope this is going to be useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with Iroshizuku Fuyu-gaki. Let us start with some fine writing. A fresh, sparkly orange. That's the first thing that springs to my mind. And I need the cap of my pen. It's gone. Right, there we are. Medium. Broad. I now realize this was probably not the ink I had a sample of. I think that was Yuyaki, which sounds a little like Fuyu-gaki when you don't speak Japanese, but it's a completely different ink, and that was more of an orangey, sunsetty like color, a little different. So here we go, with an italic. And from this moment onwards, I want to do a final sample here before I move on to the triple torture test, etc. I want to do flex right here, and then I will not do flex afterwards with the other nibs. The problem is, these nibs almost have no springiness, every single one of them, apart from this one, which is what I'm using now. So it's a little, I think I'm wasting your time by trying to flex those nibs if they don't really do anything, right? So here we have flex. Have to go a little slow, and I won't do the full sample. I just give you a couple of words so that you can get an idea. It's a fairly wet ink. A little bit of railroading. I'm going fairly fast here. So let's do this for the shading, and then I'll come back to those in a second. Okay. The triple torture test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1. We'll come back later. For now, let us write an F. That looks like an F to me. That sounds like the professor, sorry. And then we do some regular writing. That doesn't look like an F to me at all, it looks like a T. That's better. Not a lot, but a little. Okay, then some writing. Very orange, this color. Very, very orange. And, well, that's pretty much all let's do it. I have to wait until this dries up. So, I will talk just for a little bit about the ink that we've got going here. As you can see, a nice orange color. I think that right now I may have picked the wrong ink for the comparison. I picked Apache Sunset, and I probably should have picked Gerbin Orange Indian. I have done a separate Inkcyclopedia entry on, well, actually on both inks, so you can compare those. But I think this is closer to Orange Indian, so just so you know. Well then, let's do that second pass. And I think we should start, because this is not entirely dry yet, with the bastard brush. That doesn't have its own theme song yet. I'm working on that. As to shading, well, there's definitely some shading in this ink, I would say. It's not extremely pronounced, but there is definitely some shading going on from lighter to darker. That looks pretty dry. Let's do that third pass here. Right, there we go. Okay, so that's what we've got right there. I think this is dry now. So what we need is the eyedropper of death. And we'll just leave that be for now. And then, of course, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Tardif test. And completely new, we have, I've just spilled some ink. That was not completely new, although I guess you could say it was new. We have the brown benchmark. And that's just a whole lot of ink. So, I think we can actually take off the excess water right there. See what that did for the writing. How are we doing on waterproofness? What do we conclude from all of this? Well, the writing there is pretty much gone, apart from the last bit, but I think that, I mean, you can see that this is obliterated. This looks very fascinating now, like I've got some terrible inflammation. This is, well, you can see it, but apparently it suffered, so that's clear. A nice orange, fairly bright. I enjoy that. Well, you see it right there too. It's just a lot of ink, and it's very, very bright. A bright orange. I like that. I think we should do a scorecard, and that's what we're going to do next. Let me just close that sample vial. The scorecard. We have cleaning. Well, I haven't done that yet, so in all honesty, I don't know. I'm assuming it's not going to be a huge issue. Bleed through, we'll have to see later. The color, well, I would say it's orange. I'm not sure about you, but... And we have shading. Well, the shading seems, I would say, okay to good. Maybe not extremely pronounced, but there's definitely something going on. Flow is very good. I've had no problems with this ink. Very good. Not very flow. Very good. Sorry. Feathering. So far very little, but this is Rhodia. We'll have to try some copier paper. Drying time, it's not the shortest, but it's definitely not the longest I've seen. And waterproofness, well, that's poor. Okay, time to move on. Time to move on to copier paper. Fine. Okay, a bit of flex writing, I would say. Railroading. And yet it picks up again. Shouldn't go too fast. Fast. I already see terrible feathering going on there, I'm not sure about you. Maybe something with a... something with an S. I'm not sure why, but somehow I like the letter S. I don't know why. Right, so, regular writing, no problems, no issues. With the broad nib, things start to feather a little bit. You can see that here, for example. It's pretty small, but I see a little bit of feathering. Italic seems to be good here. With the flex, lots of feathering. I'm sure this is apparent even to this camera. A lot of stuff is going on there. Same there. and you can see it here with a lot of ink in the calligraphy sample too. So feathering is there. Bleed through is significant with the flex and heavy writing, but also with the broad writing. You see, that's quite a bit of bleed through, with the italic a little bit. Now with the Rhodia paper, the feathering I told you was not really there. This is not, that's a brown benchmark, that's not quite serious. Regular writing, no bleed through. So I would say bleed through is okay, although it depends on the paper. Feathering, serious with flex, but regular writing, okay. So something like serious with flex to okay, but even with a broad nib on cheaper paper, you will see some issues. So a nice bright orange. Can we compare this to something? I guess so. We have Fuyu-gaki. And as I said, I may not have picked the most optimal ink for this, but Apache Sunset, which is darker. I probably should have picked Orange Indian. So I would say also see Orange Indian, which is a little darker too. Indian. It's hardly legible, but okay. Check that out. That's an Inkcyclopedia entry 2. Orange Indian Majeurbain. So there you have it. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. No, wait, mate, wait. Lord, what are you doing here? Lord Windermere. Hello, lads and lasses. I thought I'd be on television too. I'm never on television, and those guys are always on television, so I wanted to be there too. Is this the camera? Is this the camera right there? Am I on screen now? Hello, can you see me? Hey, hi, you there? Yeah, well, this is Lord Windermere, and I think I need to do an Inkcyclopedia entry 2 one day. So if you agree, then let these people know, and they can have me on the show too, because I want to be a guest too, because I'm funny. I'm funny lobster, you see. So I thought I could be there. I can do this. If that brown guy can do it, then I can do it, you know. So I would say vote for me. And by the way, I'm on Twitter too. If you want to follow me, it's Lord Windy. Follow me on Twitter, Lord Windy. I'm a lot of fun. So, just so you know. And I'll see you later. Bye. Bloody lobster.